Hello kababayan and hello YouTubers. Today I will be explaining how to calculate your 48 hours or 24 hours COVID test and incorporating it with your flight plan. In this example, we're going to be using multiple stops or layovers. So our flight is going to start from New York, LAX, Narita, Japan, to Manila, Philippines. All right, so let me repeat that. So we're coming from New York to LAX, Narita, Japan, to Manila, Philippines. So in this example, we have multiple stops or layovers. Our ticket says that on Monday, 5 a.m., we're going to fly from New York. So from New York, we will depart on Monday, 5 a.m. And then we will land in LAX. And then from LAX, we're going to fly out of LAX on Monday, 9 a.m. Okay? Think about that for a minute. And while you're thinking about it, I'm going to reiterate this. So Monday, 5 a.m., we leave New York. And then we land at LAX. And then we leave from LAX Monday, 9 a.m. And then we'll go to Narita and then Philippines. So now we have that as our flight plan. So the first thing you should do is determine which airport is your first international flight. Okay, you got to determine which airport you're going to fly out and which one is going to be your first international flight. By looking at this flight plan that we have or flight schedule, LAX would be the first international flight out of the country because New York to LAX is a domestic flight. So New York is not a international flight, but LAX is. So LAX, when I go inside the terminal, it will actually say Tom Bradley International Airport. So LAX will be my international airport, and that's where I'm going to fly out. So LAX, I'm scheduled to fly out of there on Monday, 9 a.m. So now, if I'm going to use the antigen test, which is only 24 hours, Monday, 9 a.m., I back it up 24 hours. And that would end up on Sunday, 9 a.m. So Sunday, 9 a.m. for my antigen test, I can begin testing my antigen test, or I can begin taking the test for my antigen on Sunday, 9:01 a.m. all the way up to Monday before I fly out of New York. I'm scheduled to fly out of New York at 5 a.m. So in this example, from Sunday 9:01 a.m. to Monday 5 a.m., that's the only time I have I have allotted to take my test. But bear in mind, Monday 5 a.m. is my flight out. So I got to give myself ample of time to get to New York Airport. So my schedule for antigen would be Sunday 9:01 a.m. all the way up to maybe midnight Sunday, because early in the morning Monday I got to fly out. I hope that's clear. Just write it down and you'll see. So that's for the antigen. Now, what about for RT-PCR? That's 48 hours. So in that scenario, my first international flight is on Monday, 9 a.m. at LAX. So I'm going to back it up 48 hours from Monday, 9 a.m. And I'll end up on Saturday, 9 a.m. So from Saturday, 9:01 a.m., I can begin taking my RT-PCR test until Sunday midnight. Because Monday, 5 a.m., I fly out of New York to get to LAX. So let me repeat that. So I'm flying out of LAX, my first international airport, Monday, 9 a.m. Since I'm doing 48-hour RT-PCR test, I'll back it up 48 hours. And I'll end up on Saturday, 9 a.m. So from Saturday, 9 a.m., 9:01 actually, I can start taking my 48-hour RT-PCR test. And then I'll stop at Sunday midnight because Monday morning at 5 a.m., I'm leaving New York Airport to get to LAX. And I'll fly out of LAX at 9 a.m. So the RT-PCR, I have my window in New York before I fly. It will be kind of difficult for me to take the RT-PCR, even though if it's a fast RT-PCR, when I get to LA, because it takes about 2 to 5 hours to get my test result for the 48 hours RT-PCR. So if I do it in LAX, that's too stressful. So my RT-PCR test, I got to do it in New York before I fly out from New York. Now, the antigen, I could do it in New York, but there's a possibility I could do it in LAX. But I have to find a time to do it before I get on board. Or I got to find the time or the location for me to do the PCR test, or the antigen test. Then again, even though I can get my test result very quickly, maybe within 30 minutes of antigen, it's going to be very stressful. So, but between the two, the antigen is going to be more feasible between the two, but they're both stressful. Imagine yourself, you're at LAX, you're boarding within 2 hours, and you have to figure out where is the testing station and how long am I going to get it? Or how long do I have to wait to get it? So that's stressful. But it's doable, mostly with the antigen, but not the RT-PCR. So for me, I have free testing. So I could go to CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or YMCA. My testing for RT-PCR or antigen is free. My plan is, because I'm leaving in about 8 weeks, or less than 8 weeks, is on Saturday, if this is my flight plan, I will take my RT-PCR Saturday, 9:01 a.m. I'll try to get it early as possible. And then on Sunday, if I don't get my test result for the 48-hour RT-PCR, then I'll initiate my backup plan. Then I'll do my antigen test on Sunday. So I'll have both. But I know I'll be able to get my antigen on Sunday morning. And that will be my plan. So determining what to do in you guys' scenario, it really depends if those tests are free. If they're not free and it's going to cost a lot of money, then I suggest pick one that's easier to get the result and the cheaper one. So get the cheapest one and the faster result to determine which one you want to take, the RT-PCR or the antigen. Okay, so I hope I made this clear and easy to understand. And if it's still not clear, you message me and I'll respond back with some explanation. I just want to help you guys out and make sure that you're stress-free when it comes to the testing procedures. But always bear in mind, guys, I want you to guys keep this in mind. If your flight, your first international flight, now I want you to keep that in your mind. Your first international flight is in the morning, your RT-PCR or antigen test will be in the morning. If your first international flight is at night, your RT-PCR or antigen test will begin at night. So keep that in mind. So this procedure here is much more friendlier with morning flight, first international flight out in the morning. So if you have a first international flight out in the morning, that would be more friendlier or much easier to get your COVID test done because most labs are open in the morning, both for antigen and RT-PCR tests. All right, guys, I have taken so much of your time. Just remember, give me a message, give me a like, subscribe, and you can ask me questions and I'll help you guys out. All right, kababayan and YouTubers, peace out.